Hey, it's Brian, right on red. Let me ask you something. Why is it that the left champions all these different groups that they make and separate people into, whether you're trans or you're black or you're brown or you're LGBTQ or this and that? Why do they champion all these groups and call all these people victims and oppressed and they need to fight for their rights? But when one of them, such as Caitlyn Jenner, decides to just, she doesn't want to be part of the celebration anymore. She just wants to live as a person and not as a trans person. She's still a trans person, but wants that not to be the defining character of her. That doesn't, just because that's what she is, doesn't mean that's the defining character. There's so much more to an individual. So she was Times Person of the Year a few years back, right? So the left celebrated her to no end. But suddenly when she told people she was a conservative and that she didn't want to be part of the 12-month year of the year celebration and angry all the time group, she was bashed by every media outlet, every progressive, every leftist, and just treated like she was basically nothing. She was never a part of that group. Last time I looked, she was still a trans woman. So why isn't she treated like one by the left? So what does that mean? Well, they champion black rights, right? Correct? That's what they always say. We're here for, Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. Well, why is it when people like Larry Elder or Herschel Walker or Jack Brewer or Vernon Jones or any other black person, Byron Donalds, doesn't want that to be the reason they succeed, and doesn't want that to be the thing that anybody looks at when meeting them or when defining them? They want their character to define them. They want to live in a colorblind society, like Dr. Martin Luther King said. They don't think race means anything. So why, when they decide they don't want to celebrate the one thing that differs them from other people, which is their skin color, that's it. They don't want to celebrate that. They're treated horribly by the Joy Reids of the world and the Views, and they're called, white supremacists. They're being called now. I mean, it's crazy. They're black, but they're white supremacists apparently. So why is that? You got to ask yourself that. If they champion black people, then why do they only champion black people who agree with them and will celebrate the differences and stay a victim? Well, it's because obviously they want control over you. And when you leave and you don't celebrate the one thing that makes you different, instead you live life with all the things that make us the same, you are no longer under their control. They no longer are going to be able to push these false narratives. They're no longer going to be able to lie to you. And they know that. So they bash you. They make up false narratives about you and about reasons why you did this and that. Please, I'm telling you, check out hashtag walkaway, I believe it is. It's a gay individual who started it, a gay man. He was a very liberal person, and he saw some really weird things on MSNBC, that they were cropping out black people in the Donald Trump rallies when they were showing them in the stands. So he started to look a little deeper into things with the left, and the rabbit hole went deep, deep, deep. The stuff he found, the things he found, the lies he found that they tell minorities and tell the LGBTQ society or community, and tell the trans community, tell black people, tell brown people. It's insane. And he lists them all on some of the videos, but go check him out. Go check out his YouTube videos. I believe it's hashtag walkaway. But comment if you watch this, comment and let me know your thoughts, because I'm telling you, It's insane how divided they want you and how far they'll go to divide us by saying white supremacy is the biggest issue facing America and the biggest danger facing black people. Well, I put on my Facebook today some numbers, and the fact is, race-based murders and shootings in our country yearly account for 0.4% of all shootings and murders. 0.4. And that's every race having, being the antagonist, not just white. So, therefore, that's a complete lie. It's not even close to the biggest. It's actually the smallest threat facing America. White supremacists, everybody hates them, including people on the right. Nobody likes white supremacists. They barely exist because nobody likes them. They're not the biggest threat to black people. The biggest threat to black people as far as violence goes is other black individuals in the inner city. 94% of black men shot in the city are shot by other black men. That's a fact. That's a fact. There's a white individual is 10 times more likely to be murdered by a black individual than a black is by a white individual. So that kills the white supremacy thing. And I'm not saying, and I know it's not because of race, it's because of economic class, and we'll go over that another time. But the point is, I'm just trying to show you how big of liars they are. The whole police narrative that they had, a cop's 100 times more likely to be killed by a black man than a black man is to be killed by a cop. Blows that narrative out of the water. Trans. They say, you're killing trans people. You are more likely as a Christian to be attacked by a trans than a trans is by a Christian. Fact. You are more likely to commit suicide or attempt suicide if you get gender-affirming care, surgery, or hormones before the age of 18 than you are if you wait. And that's a fact. People say, oh, you're killing them by not letting them get it. No, you're actually killing them by letting them get it. That's a fact. Gender dysphoria actually subsides after the age of 18 in many individuals. Not always, but many times. So it makes sense to wait. So there's just lie after lie that is used only for one thing, and that's to divide, anger, and keep the votes from such groups. So please, if you get a chance, you think I might be full of shit, go look for yourself, please. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks.